Next on ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso weekend.
It was abnormally loud. It was startlingly loud, and it was very, very scary. I heard the explosion, and moments later I heard debris falling on the ground.
Our newsroom following the latest out of New York overnight after the city is shaken by an explosion and what's been found now. And then back around the borderland, police investigating a stabbing on the west side overnight as well. Then in happier news, the Chihuahuas looking to clinch the Pacific Coast League Championship last night. Already up 2 games in the best-of-5 series. We have the results. And one city, one team, leaving it all on the field. UTEP taking on Army in a historic and very patriotic game. And storm track weather, Steven.
The sun is up and we are going to be heating up here in the borderland near record highs. I'll have those details coming up.
It's all the news you need to start your Sunday, September 19th. ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso weekend starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso weekend.
What better way to celebrate a team's first ever championship? The Paso Chihuahuas just going absolutely nuts, as you see here, after winning a nail-biter last night over the Oklahoma City Dodgers for the Pacific Coast League Championship. The Dogs won 4-3 in 11 innings. The Chihuahuas will now play the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders on Tuesday in Memphis in the Gildan AAA National Championship game. The Chihuahuas will have just one shot to win it all here. Championship decided in a single game. Well, good morning, El Paso, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew J. Polk. We are, of course, following that breaking news overnight out of New York City, on high alert still after an explosion rips through Manhattan. The blast happened around 8:30 local time last night in the Chelsea neighborhood. Police say the explosive appears to have come from a construction toolbox in front of a building now. At least 29 people were injured. Shortly thereafter, police found a second device just blocks away, as you see here. Officials say it appears to be a pressure cooker with wire sticking out, what appears to be a cell phone attached, and a piece of paper with some form of writing. Police confirmed the device was safely removed by the bomb squad for investigation, and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio calls the explosion an intentional act.
No evidence at this point of a terror connection to this incident. This is preliminary information. It's something we will be investigating very carefully, but there is no evidence at this point of a terror connection.
I don't know what hit me. I threw off my feet.
You flew off your feet?
Yeah.
You landed on your back?
I landed on my elbow.
You landed on your elbow. How loud was it?
Very loud. I never experienced anything like it.
Investigators say they are looking at surveillance video that appears to show a person near the dumpster where the explosion occurred. They're working to determine if that individual is connected to the blast. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story as it develops, bringing you the latest on air and online at KVIA.com. But meanwhile, in New Jersey, just hours before the New York explosion, a pipe bomb detonated inside a trash can along the course of a 5K run for a Marine Corps charity. Luckily, the race was delayed and no runners were nearby when the device went off. The FBI, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and local law enforcement there are investigating. Again, and thankfully, no injuries have been reported from that. And back around the borderland, we also have breaking news out of West El Paso overnight. Police are investigating a stabbing. It happened on the 200 block of Gus Rallis just after 3 o'clock this morning. Around the Clock news crew was there as police were talking to witnesses on the scene, still working to find out the condition of the person transported to the hospital. It's not clear whether their injuries were serious or not, or what led up to the stabbing. We'll, of course, update you on this as well as soon as we get any more information. And it was arguably the biggest home game UTEP will have this season. Didn't exactly go in the Miners' favor. The Miners losing a blowout against the Army Black Knights 66-14. But it wasn't the scoreboard that kept fans cheering. Take a look. It was the theme of one city, one team. Although the Sun Bowl was filled with pride for both teams, patriotism dominated the field throughout the game. This is a picture shared by the UTEP police on Twitter showing the huge American flag covering the entire field. There was also an Apache helicopter flyover that many of you on this side of town may have heard, and a parachute jump team delivering the game ball. ABC 7's Jerry Nahra was at the game and brings us more on the story.
Football, Apache helicopters, and the Golden Knights parachute team brought out thousands of fans Saturday evening. Thousands filled the stands, many enjoying the early kickoff.
It's beautiful.
It gave everybody a chance to come out and tailgate. The kids could come out. It was early enough for the young kids, so it was really great.
Others gazed up to the skies to witness the Army's Golden Knights parachute team deliver the game ball, followed by the thunder of Apache helicopters flying by. Football fans went all out for their team.
Going Army.
Of course, my UTEP minors.
Both!
With Army never having played in El Paso, Army veterans like Marcos Castañeda
30 years in the Army.
say they've waited far too long to see their team play at the Sun Bowl.
For the first time, making history.
Others say with Fort Bliss in our city, this matchup needs to happen again.
I think it's great. It's a great way to bring the community together.
It's an awesome experience, especially for the UTEP program.
It's about time we played Army here with Fort Bliss and everything. I hope this is an annual deal.
Saturday night's game attendance was just shy of 38,000 people. Reporting for Good Morning El Paso Weekend, I'm Jerry Nájera with ABC7.
And we'll have more highlights of the game and reaction from the players and Coach Kugler coming up a little bit later in sports. But for now, getting to our Storm Track weather, let's get your first forecast with Storm Track meteorologist Stephen Decatur. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Andrew. What a beautiful start to the day. Plenty of sunshine out there. It's feeling nice, too. Temperatures in the 60s. Heating up quickly, though. Las Cruces was in the middle 50s this morning already, 67. And it's going to continue to heat up quickly as we head into the afternoon with wall-to-wall sunshine. A very sunny, dry day once again. That'll allow temperatures to warm up into the middle 90s, even warmer than yesterday. The record high today, 98, so it does look like we're going to be just shy of that, but still a very warm day, borderline hot. It's certainly hot for this time of year. Plenty of sunshine around. Winds will be very light. Here's a look at your weather headlines. Near record highs continuing as we head into Monday, and even it'll be close on Tuesday as well. Then we begin some slow cooling as rain chances begin to return. Moisture is going to be working back into the borderland. Rain chances still won't be all that high, but the chance will come back into the forecast, and I'll have all those details coming up. Andrew?
All right, thanks, Stephen. Check back in just a bit. In the meantime, though, police say speed is what caused a deadly motorcycle crash in northeast El Paso. Police have identified the man killed as 18-year-old Dallister Gill. The crash happened Friday evening around 7:30 on the 5300 block of Marcos Uribe. Police say Gill lost control of his motorcycle and crashed. He was taken to UMC, where he later died. Another big road improvement project is ready to begin in some of the parts of East El Paso County, though for some parts of the project, there wasn't much of a road to begin with.
We have completed our procurement process for the Old Waco Tanks Road, which is, in effect, Old Waco Tanks Road is really the extension of East Lake from I-10 heading southbound.
As part of El Paso County's efforts to bring more infrastructure to the unincorporated but rapidly growing parts of the county, county commissioners authorized a set of road improvement projects. Now the Camino Real Regional Mobility Authority is moving on more of them.
We've got various agreements with the County of El Paso whereby we're using their vehicle registration fee funds to develop a whole slate of projects for them. And one of those projects is specifically Old Waco Tanks. And we're also in coordination with the city of Socorro because this roadway goes right into their community.
Old Waco Tanks Road is next up. It's expected to take about a year to build the new 4-lane divided road, including sidewalks, lighting, and bike lanes where there was limited or even no roadway before. TxDOT did the design, and the county is providing the funding. Socorro helped with the land acquisition, and the Mobility Authority is managing it all.
You see 4 partners coming together to complete one roadway.
Other projects the county has authorized include more construction around parts of I-10 and those eastern parts of the county. Businessman Billy Abraham is settling a lawsuit from a deadly car crash for $1 million. According to our news partners at the El Paso Inc., the settlement is between Abraham and the Hartford Insurance Company. El Paso Inc. reports the money was given to J. Clinton Grady's 2 daughters and their mother. Grady was the man who was killed in the crash. Abraham announced the settlement last week. He said, quote, "Although money can never replace the presence of their father, this settlement has changed the children's lives and their future trajectory by providing them a new home and a trust fund to ensure the children's higher education." To read more on the settlement, pick up your copy of the El Paso Inc. Other stories this week include, would you believe making energy upgrades on your building with no upfront costs? That's what a new county program can do for local businesses. And why some old adobe structures in Socorro are now a national treasure, what it means for the restoration of the Rio Vista Farm. El Paso Inc. is online at elpasoinc.com and available for home and business delivery. Call the number there at the bottom of your screen, 534-4422, to subscribe. And putting an end to veteran homelessness. Following President Barack Obama's recent announcement to have a 50% drop of homeless vets, the Housing Authority of El Paso is doing their part to help out locally. At a news conference on Friday, HACIP announced the award of 13 additional vouchers to fight homelessness. The vouchers offers case management and clinical services provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs.
When you have an event like the Stand Down, what it does, it actually allows veterans to share in and sort of kind of be with others that are in similar need. So they feel a sense of community, and they're more than likely to come out to these types of events. So it's really important that here at HACIP that we're involved in this type of program annually.
The joint effort between El Paso's VA and HACIP has received 239 voucher awards since 2008. The vouchers total more than $10 million brought to El Paso to specifically end veteran homelessness. And the Chihuahuas may have been out of town for their win, but there was still plenty going on at the downtown ballpark this weekend. We have a look at the Way Out West Fest. And later, shoppers become victims as an attack in a mall up north results in multiple injuries. It is just before 8:11 right now, taking a live look at traffic this morning. Looking pretty green across the board. Maybe a couple slow down spots, but otherwise, I-10 looking pretty free and clear as you try to head through any part of town, really. And conditions out there very clear as well. So in storm track weather, Stephen.
Temperatures are warming up. We're in for a very warm and sunny day, but fall is just around the corner and a cool down's on the way. All those details coming up.
You're watching ABC 7, where news comes first.